In a tense classroom at Zhangcheng No. 2 High School, a chalkboard announces just 1 day left until the unified exam. The class teacher, Chen Fan, gives final instructions. He tells students taking the liberal arts exam to prepare the IR stationery and gives a more serious reminder to those taking the martial arts exam to prepare the IR combat gear and weapons. Teacher Chen Fan then warns about the deadly risk of the martial arts college entrance exam. He strongly advises any student with an awakened ability below D level not to take it. From his seat, a student named Xu Jingming smirks, feeling the teacher's warning is directed at him. He thinks to himself that he has transmigrated into this world called Blue Star. It is technologically similar to his old one, but it is also inhabited by ferocious, bloodthirsty beasts. To counter this, some humans have awakened superpowers. In this world, people can awaken various abilities at age 16, which are rated on a scale from F to S. However, the majority of people only awaken skills between F and D. As he considers his own power, a small flash of lightning appears. He reveals that his ability is an E-grade weak electricity, and he notes with disappointment that its power is only comparable to a simple stun baton. As Xu Jingming reflects, a blonde-haired classmate, Huang Tian, taps on his desk. He mockingly asks if Xu Jingming still plans to take the martial arts exam, calling him E-grade trash, who would only shame the school. Hang Tian suggests Xu Jingming should just choose liberal arts and offers him a future as a small clerk in his company. Before Xu Jingming can answer, a female classmate, Linking, stands up and tells Huang Tian to mind his own business. Annoyed, Huang Tian scoffs at her and promises to show her who is best during the exam. As he walks away, he glances back and adds a cruel remark, predicting Xu Jingming will die on the exam grounds. After Huang Tian leaves, Lin Qingli turns to Xu Jingming with concern. She advises him to ignore Huang Tian's words and suggests that switching to liberal arts might not be a bad option. Xu Jingming listens to her silently, his expression unreadable. Lost in thought, Xu Jingming looks at his Great Xia Unified Exam registration form. The form lists his E-level elemental ability. In the Great Xia Kingdom, education is split into liberal arts and martial arts. Those with low-level abilities can choose liberal arts for an ordinary life. The martial arts path is far more dangerous. Students must enter a designated area and fight fierce beasts to the death to pass. Only by surviving can one hope to enter an ability user university. There, with years of training, even an unranked person can become a truly powerful ability user. Xu Jingming understands why his teacher and Lin Qingli are worried. He knows they fear what might happen if he takes the exam. However, he also recognizes that he cannot escape the constant threat of the beasts. This thought triggers a painful memory of a beast tide from his past where he knelt as a child crying over the lifeless bodies of his parents. The memory strengthens his resolve. He doesn't want to be powerless again. With determination, he holds up his registration form and firmly declares that he will still choose the martial arts exam. As the sun sets, Xu Jingming is in a training hall, practicing relentlessly with a long spear. He channels his electrical ability into the weapon. Blue sparks crawled along the weapon as he swung it with all his strength, only to collapse moments later from exhaustion. He had trained with the spear for 2.5 years, yet his skill remained at the beginner level. Though he had spent 300,000 credits on a technique called Lightning Gale Break, he knew he was only slightly stronger than other E-rank awakened. Lying on the floor, staring at the ceiling, he grimly acknowledged the statistics. The death rate for students below D rank increased every year. Still, he pushed himself back up, determined to fight with everything he had. As his hand brushed against a nearby training machine, a blue holographic screen suddenly appeared before him, displaying a message that made his heart skip a beat. System activating. Shock froze Xu Jingming in place as the system finished initializing and prompted him to claim a newbie gift package. Realization struck like lightning. This was the legendary cheat system meant for transmigrators. His disbelief quickly turned into excitement, and when the contents were revealed, he was left utterly speechless. An S-rank ability and 200 ability points. In the entire Great Xia Kingdom, S-rank awakeners were legendary existences, immediately recruited by top universities and cultivated as national-level powerhouses. Without hesitation, Xu Jingming accepted the reward. The moment he did, violent purple lightning erupted from within his body as the system began integrating the S-rank ability, Purple Heaven Divine Thunder. The pain was indescribable. Lightning tore through his meridians, his shirt shredded as energy exploded outward, shattering walls and blowing out windows. Outside, pedestrians stared in horror as a colossal lightning dragon formed above the apartment building, drawing the attention of military forces and emergency responders alike. When the progress bar finally reached 100%, the pain vanished, leaving Xu Jingming kneeling amid the ruins of his training room. Blue and purple lightning crackled around his clenched fist, and a confident grin spread across his face. This power was on a completely different level. Using his 200 ability points, he enhanced his physique and spirit, feeling his strength and perception surge. He looks at his hand, surrounded by crackling energy, and understands that by raising his basic attributes, his control over his combat skills and powers will also be stronger. The system panel confirms the upgrade, showing his physique is now 141 and his spirit is 160. It explains that each ability point was equal to 0.22 units of vital energy or spirit energy. A confident grin spreads across his face. He believes that with his current strength, getting into an Awakener University will be easy. But he wonders how he now compares to the other 700,000 candidates in the province, especially the geniuses trained since childhood. Deciding to find out, he kicks his spear up from the rubble on the floor. As he catches it and slings it over his shoulder, he resolves to go to the martial arts hall to test his new power levels. As he prepares to leave, his apartment door is suddenly kicked open. A team of 3 firefighters bursts in, ready to fight a fire, leaving Xu Jingming stunned. The lead firefighter, looking confused by the lack of a fire, explains they received a call about a fire at this location. Standing in the wrecked room, Xu Jingming calmly explains that the commotion was caused by his ability training and that everything is now fine. The lead firefighter accepts the explanation, knowing that incidents with awakened individuals are common. He radios his team to fall back. As he leaves, he looks back at Xu Jingming with admiration, thinking how formidable the younger generation is to cause such a commotion just by practicing. Shortly after, the fire truck drives away. As Xu Jingming, now in his school uniform and carrying his spear, walks down the street, a neighbor he calls Uncle Yang asks if he is okay after the fire. Xu Jingming reassures him everything is under control. Noticing the spear, the neighbor praises him for being so diligent, practicing even with the exam the next day. The story then explains that martial arts halls are important in this world. To advance, an awakened person must train their physique and spirit. The halls provide training grounds, which are essential since not every family can afford a private training room. The 2 most famous martial arts hall chains are Thunder and Brutal Bear. Xu Jingming arrives at the Thunder Martial Arts Hall. The narration explains that the Brutal Bear Hall is expensive, mainly for students from rich families. The Thunder Hall, however, is free for all high school students, making it very popular. Inside the busy hall, Xu Jingming sees a familiar face in a group of students. The girl with long black hair and red eyes is Tangi, his cousin. He approaches her and asks why she is at the Thunder Hall. Surprised to see him, Tangi replies that she just came with a friend. Xu Jinping politely excuses himself, telling Tangi and her friends to continue their visit while he heads to the training room. As he walks away, Tangi watches him, thinking he seems a bit different. Her cheerful friend Xiaoya is immediately taken by Xu Jingming's appearance, calling him handsome and asking Tangi who he is.
Tangi explains he is her cousin, Xu Jingming, also a third-year student taking the martial arts exam tomorrow. Shia swoons, saying he would make a great boyfriend. A male friend teases her for falling in love, and she enthusiastically agrees. Hearing this, Tangi decides to bring her friend back to reality. She reveals that Xu Jing's awakened ability is only E rank. The news shatters Shia's fantasy, and she cries out, "What a pity it is!" The male friend smirks, commenting that it's commendable for someone with an E-rank ability to take the martial arts exam. Tangi, however, looks worried, saying, "Courage is meaningless when the risk is so high." Changing the subject, Tangi reminds the group they are there to visit the hall. Shia agrees, mentioning she spent all of high school at the expensive Brutal Bear Hall and suggests relaxing before the big exam is a good idea. Meanwhile, Xu Jingming finds an empty training room. He stands before a large round target with his spear. As he grips it, he notices it feels much lighter. He realizes the spear hasn't changed. His own body has become much stronger. He considers that this old weapon might not be suitable anymore, but with the exam tomorrow, there's no time to find a new one. He decides to first test his peak physical strength without his lightning ability. He takes a deep breath, tightens his grip, and thrusts the spear forward. The weapon slams into the center of the target with incredible force. The strike leaves a spider web of cracks in the advanced training target. A digital display above it flashes the number 321. The room's equipment is made from a special memory metal, allowing it to automatically repair itself. Xu Jing is astonished. His pure physical strength has doubled. He knows the strongest output for a normal, unranked awakened is only around 100 calories, making his base strength exceptional. Satisfied, he decides to try his new S-rank ability. His eyes glow blue as he prepares to channel
The purple heaven's divine thunder. Arcs of purple and blue lightning crackle around his body. With a powerful leap, he brings his spear down on the target, creating a massive explosion of electrical energy. He looks up at the new reading. An incredible 3,021 calories. Xu Jingming is thrilled by how powerful his S-rank ability is. The standard for a first-tier awakened is only 1,000 calories. The fact that he, still unranked, can unleash an attack comparable to a mid-tier first-tier awakened shows his new potential. But he isn't done. With lightning still crackling around him, he declares that this is not his limit. He decides to use his true killer move, a technique stacking his enhanced strength, his ability, and his combat skills into one strike. He channels all his energy into the spear, which becomes covered in intense purple lightning. He swings the spear in a wide arc. As the spearhead nears the target, the lightning condenses into a single bright sphere of power. With a fierce cry of "Break!" he unleashes the attack. The spear connects, resulting in a massive explosion of purple energy that completely engulfs the target. The force of the attack sends a shockwave
through the entire martial arts hall. In the main stadium, students are shaken, with one crying out, wondering if it was an earthquake. On the training room floor, Tangi, Xiaoya, and their friends are thrown off balance. The male friend recognizes the powerful energy fluctuations, stating they are on the level of a true awakener. They wonder if a new awakener-level high school student has just appeared, since all the known ones train at the other hall. Driven by curiosity, Tangi says they should go see. The group follows the trail of energy down the corridor. As they turn a corner, they come face to face with Xu Jingming, who is leaving the area with his spearhead now wrapped in a cloth. Tangi calls out to him, surprised to see him there. Xu Jingming calmly says he is heading home to prepare for the exam, giving no hint of the power he just used. His friend wishes him luck, but dismissively tells the group to forget him, pointing to the training room Xu Jingming just left, saying the energy came from there. The group approaches the door. Peeking inside, they see a scene of total devastation. The advanced memory metal target has been completely destroyed, and the reinforced wall behind it is a massive crater of rubble. The entire room is a wreck. Tangi, Xiaoya, and the others can only stare in pure shock, unable to comprehend the level of destructive power that was just unleashed in a high school training room.